Hello everyone, welcome back to our Python beginner session. So here today we are going to discuss about list. In our previous videos, we have covered some topics like Python syntax, escape sequence, operators, variables, a string, if else statement, loops, random numbers, functions, and now today we are going to discuss about list. In case if you have missed any of these lessons or videos before, there is a link mentioned in the description box. That link is the playlist link where all you can find all the videos. Just please go through that so you can understand things better in this session as well. So today we are going to learn about list. So list we use to store multiple values in a single variables. So list one of the sequence like a string in Python. So as we used to we use methods in a string data type, you can use the same in list as well. You can index it, you can slice it. The difference is that list is mutable. Mutable means you can change the list. You can add values, you can remove values, even you can change values in the list. A list can carry multiple data types and multiple values in a single list separated by comma. So you can have integer, float, even you can have a string, or even the list also you can have inside a list. So you can have multiple data type values in a single list. List also carries duplicate values. For examples, you are maybe defining names of different persons in the list. Two persons can have same name, so you can write the same name, same data, kind of thing you can say, in the list. So list can have duplicate values inside it. List, again, same like a string, carries index values. So first value in the list will have zero index value. For a second value will have index value 1. So it is the same. Index number starts with 0 in the list as well. Let's see with the in the example. Here I have defined three different strings, three different lists. First list is num that carries all the numbers. Second list is strings that carries all the string values inside it. Third is num string, num str that has 1, 2, 3, 4.0 that has a string value, that has integer value, that has float value. So you can see in a single list you can define multiple values. I have given the name nums and a string in that. It doesn't mean that if you give a variable name nums, then you only define numbers. And if you give a variable name a string, then you can define only strings. You can give any variable, any name to the variable. It can be ABC, it can be XYZ, it can be anything. So it doesn't matter what name you are giving to variable. You can have multiple values or same values, or multiple data types in the list. So that's totally fine. If I print what I have defined here, the list, if I print nums, you can see it is showing all the values. It lists are ordered also. What is the meaning of ordered? So ordered means in the same order you define a variable, you initialize values in the list, you will get the same here. So that means ordered. So if you add one more value inside this list, so that value will go in the and in the right side of the list. So ordered means the same way you initialize values inside the list, it will remain the same order. So here I'm printing a string here and then num str. So yes, these three list has been initialized. Now we will going to index and slice it as we did in the string. If you haven't seen this video, please go back and see that video so you will understand what does that mean and how we do it. So here we are going to give our index value inside the square bracket with the list name. So why it's coming 25 here? Because as I told you, index value start with 0. So it's a 0 index number has the value 10, one index number has the value 4, and two index number has the value 25. So we asked to print the second index value, that is 25. So here I'm printing from 0 to the index value 2. So let's see. So why it's printing only 0 and 1, as we discussed in last video as well. Whenever you define a value here, index number here, it always go one number before minus that number, because you are asking two value to print here. So 0 and 1, that is two values that is printing here. I hope you get it. If there is any confusion, please write in the comment box and I will explain you with more examples. So for negative or for reverse uh, indexing, we use -1. So -1 means the last value of the list. So we are asking to print the last value of the string, that is 4.0 here in numstr. So let's see. Yes, we are getting 4.0. Now, if we are checking if that item we asked is in the list or not. So we are asking if 4.0 in numstr, then it should print yes, I found 4.0. Otherwise, it should print wrong item. For example, let's run it. Yes, in numstr there is 4.0. For example, if we change it here to 5.0, not 4.0, let's see what happens. Yes, wrong item, because that is not there. So you can use conditions also in list to check the item, to check the value if that list carries or not. How can we change the item? How can we change the value inside a list? So here in numstr, in third position, what is in the third position? So if we check index value 0, index value 1, index value 2, and index value 3. So this is 4.0, and we are changing it to a string from float 3. Let's see. Yes, it's been changed. As I told you, lists are mutable and you can change value inside the list by defining it with their index value. Here I'm changing the second last value, index value in the list. So let's see. Yes, it was first integer 3 and now it's float 3.0. How can we insert an item? How can we add an item? We don't want to add it in the end. We want to add it in the middle, in a certain index point. So here, insert function, what it does, it takes first index value where you want to place your new value. And then it asks with the comma separator, it asks the value you want to insert. So here in index value 1, so after on the second place in the list, I want to add a value that is a string 2. Let's see. Yes, so there is 1, and then on the second place on the first index value there is a value has been added, inserted, that is 2 here. If you want to insert more values, then you replace. So how you do it? First you define a number which you want to replace, and then how many numbers are you going to replace, add, insert in it, then you with the colon. So let's see. Yes. So 0, 1, and 2. So on index value 2, there was a number, integer number 2. But what happened? That number been replaced by three values, that is 4 a string float, and then 6 as a string, and then it comes other values. So it has removed index value 2 and it has added three values by replacing only one value from there. You can do that too. Now, what does append method do? Append method adds an item, a value in the list, but it doesn't ask an index value. So it adds the value in the end of the list in the extreme right side of the list. Let's see, we are adding the value that is 7.70. So we are asking to add a float number inside it. So it's adding in the end of the list. So here to append elements from another list. It means if you have two lists and you want to add values from the second list to the previous list, how you do it? You do it with defining first the list name in which you want to add, then dot extend method, and in the method you describe that list you want to add those values from that list. So second list basically, which whose values are coming in the list 1. So num str will add all the values that a string has. Let's print it. So here we have all the values that numstr had before, and then there's been added these three values that strings list had also. So with the extend method you can add a second list items into the list. The remove function, what remove function do? As its name says, it removes a specific value that you mention in the remove method. So in numstr.remove, in the remove method, you write the value that you want to remove. And if you run it, now you can't see the value 3 here that's been removed. Again, you can do it remove method with remove, you can remove items values with pop method as well by defining the index value, not with the value you need to write like you write in remove method, but by writing the index value here you can remove a value from the list. So let's see, -2, that means last second value, and that's been removed from the list. Here, if you don't mention an index value in the pop method, what it does, it removes the last value in the list, extreme right side value from the list. So that is here Python. So let's see if we run it. Now Python bean has been removed. Del method you can use in two ways, two different ways. So the first one is you write del and then you write list name. You don't write the same way as you did pop list name dot then method, but here you write method del and then you write list name, and in the list you define index value here if you want to remove a specific value from there though. Then so -1, that means the extreme right value, the last value we want to remove. So if we print, yes, the last value has been removed. But if you use del and then you use the list name, what happened? It will delete that list totally. So I'm printing first the list, then I'm deleting it, and then I'm trying to print it again what it says. So in your opinion, what it should be give? Yes, it will throw an error that the list is not found because that list has been deleted. So here, first it has printed the list, then the list is deleted. So here it's name error because it cannot found the list that's been deleted. Clear method we use to empty the list. So it removes or it deletes all the values inside the list, but the list will be there too as an empty list. So if we do list name dot clear, and if let's print it, so you can see all the values has been removed and the list is still there. It's an empty list now. There are more methods that you can use with the list. I have given a list here where there is method name with description and with the example how you can use it with the lists. If you have any confusion, any doubt how to use it, what does it do, and you want more examples, please write me in the comment box and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe it, and to get the notification, please press the bell icon as well. Keep tuned because in our next video, we are going to learn more about list, how to use loops in the list, how to read a list inside a list. So we are going to learn nested list and loops in the list in our next video. So stay tuned, keep learning, keep practicing.